I'm here with Kevin Forty from the Giant Veg Group. That's actually wrong, isn't it? It's the vegetable group for growing giant veg.
Yeah, that's right.
On Facebook is.
Yeah, we've got a Facebook group, Giant Vegetable Community.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to get it out there because it's facebook.com/groups /Giant Vegetable Community.
And how many people have you actually got showing here at the Malvern show this year?
This year there's about 68 individual exhibitors, which is absolutely fantastic. Through, I think in part through the Facebook group and also through a lot of the social media channels like Instagram, Twitter. And also through the Three Counties Showground. I met the president and his wife earlier. The PR we get from Giant Vegetable Growing is absolutely phenomenal, really. And today you've seen 3 world records.
There are 3 world records. So which of the 3 world records have been broken today?
The world's largest cucumber, which is grown by David Thomas from Leedstown, just over 28 pounds. The world's longest beetroot, grown by Joe Atherton. And Joe Atherton has got the world's longest beetroot, which is 7.2 metres, 21
I saw
feet.
That. It's just a menace. It goes on and on and on.
It's no good for whipping anybody
No.
because you never get the lasso out.
So when it comes to growing giant veg, what is the seeds must be where you start. The seeds must be specific varieties for growing big vegetables.
Yeah, my dad was one of the founders of Giant Vegetable Growing in the UK, and basically he basically started all the giant vegetable seeds here through the embryonic stages in terms of seed production. And what you see here is the recipes of my dad's success. My dad passed away in '96. Very suddenly. Myself and my brother Gareth, we took on Giant Vegetable Growing and took it on to the next level, really. And now what you're seeing there and what we grow ourselves is far bigger, than he could ever imagine. So.
And the other thing that's really interesting is your son, and I don't know how old your son is.
Yeah, my son Jamie Courtney Forty, he's 9.
9, and he's won as well. He's got a first today.
I'm trying to sow the giant vegetable seeds into his shoes and so he grows up and carries on the hobby.
So obviously you have to save your own seeds then if you're growing giant veg. Is it very much about micro selection when you're growing them?
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to take seed from the biggest and the best.
Right.
Sometimes it's about the genetics, how the family has been produced to create that marrow. That is more important than actually growing the world's largest.
Right. So it's very much about the background. I mean, I breed horses.
Yeah.
And sometimes you take a mare and a stallion, which go together, and they might not look the best, but genetically they will produce. And that's what you're saying about.
Yeah, it's the same with giant. But I think what you need to ensure with many of the varieties is that you don't get cross-pollination.
Yeah.
And the giant marrow that we've got now, we hold the UK's largest record, which is 171 pounds, 12 stone 3 pounds.
So that's just a bit lighter than me.
Yeah, much lighter than me anyway. But in terms of our marrow feat this show, we're hoping to take a marrow to the Peterborough Autumn Show.
Right.
The end. I think it's the 10th of October. And basically from that, we hope to beat the UK record, which is 171 pounds. Which was exhibited here in 2010.
And when it comes to feeding then, do they have special feeding regimes? Or do you keep it all secret, or do you share the information among you?
There's no secrets in this game, really.
Yeah.
Everything's freely available on the Facebook group page. Everybody's free to ask questions, and we answer them as honestly as we can, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to create is a new breed of giant vegetable growers. And what I want to try and get is younger people like me. I'm not so young now, I'm going bald and getting grey, but I want to try and get the new breed coming up.
They really friendly. I mean, the ones I've chatted to are really friendly and quite happy to say, this is the varieties I use and this is how I feed them and I start them off now.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of camaraderie amongst the growers. The Facebook group is basically got everyone together from all over the globe, basically. And it's the very first time that we've ever had that platform to be able to talk with Scott Robb, who's the world record holder in Alaska, to Dan Mockay, who's the world's largest tomato holder.
Yeah. And the other one, the one that fascinated me is the really heavy parsnips. How do you get them, rather than growing long, to sort of start to... They seem twisted and scrunched up somehow.
I think this is perhaps one of our secrets, but we're bringing it out now. Dalefoot compost, which is basically a peat-free compost.
Yeah.
I know John Harrison has slated me about using peat on Twitter. But I think in terms of the actual peat product, it's basically got a slow-release nitrogen within the sheep's wool. And it's mixed with bracken. And I think there's something special in that to create some of our vegetables. And our radish, which we've grown here, is I think 7.25 kilos. and that was grown basically in Dalefoot compost and horticultural sand.
Mixed together.
So I think in terms of the giant vegetables, there's a very long growing season.
Yeah.
The world's largest leek, which has been grown by Paul Rochester, is started off in September.
For the next year.
So it's a 12-month window really. So I don't know how he gets on with his wife, but he needs a good holiday.
I bet.
But today he's grown the world's largest leek, which is an absolutely incredible feat, 10.6 kilos. Yeah. Within the leek community, I think they like to keep it up north.
Yes,
and
very much.
What I've done with Paul through the Facebook group is bring him down to Malvern, into the middle of the country, to bring his world record to the home of UK giant vegetable growing. And I think that really says a lot about the show
and how it's
and the exhibitors, the Facebook page, and all the work we're doing just to
promote it.
Yeah, to promote the sport. Basically.
Well, thank you ever so much for chatting to us.
Yeah,
I found it really fascinating. Yeah. And what I find really interesting is Dalefoot I've been working with for 3 or 4 years with their compost, and I think it's probably the best compost we can get at the moment.
It is excellent. I think also we use Shropshire seaweed.
Yep.
And the Shropshire seaweed is a Shropshire based. Yeah. There's no sea around there, but I think that has actually helped.
So you'd
with,
say
with
that
the vegetables.
The seaweed and the compost together really work.
Yeah, the seaweed compost. We've got our own Mycor Giant Veg, which is a mycorrhiza, which has been put together to our special recipe really, and we launched that back in the summer.
It's because mycorrhizal fungi increases the root area, and the bigger the roots, the more.
Yeah, well, basically, as you say, the bigger the root mass, hopefully the bigger the vegetable. And we've got a marrow growing now. We've got 2 marrows growing in a space of 6 meters by 4 meters, which probably the average gardener would probably pick out £100 of onions from there. But the actual the environment which is grown is just literally full of root mass, surface roots, and some people say it doesn't work, but I firmly believe in mycorrhiza. It's been around for centuries.
Absolutely.
And and in terms of mycorrhiza, it's there to stay.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you ever such a lot.